but had faith in ourselves to get the job done, to go after what we wanted to go after. So you already know to have faith in yourself. You weren't worried about using something and not having enough because you have faith in yourself to do it, right? I just changed the faith. I just have faith that whatever I'm going through is part of the process. He's preparing us, right? My act of addiction is a blessing, was a blessing. Because today it gives me the opportunity to learn so much about myself to be a better person, right? I'm not striving to be, the Christian I need to be tomorrow. I'm striving to learn from how I used to be just to be a better Christian today. It's easier for me to learn from the past and learn how to be a better person from that person than me to try to strive to be somebody tomorrow that I don't know. Right? Doesn't it say in the Bible, leave tomorrow alone for it has its own, today has its own problems? What happens is when we strive to become one thing, tomorrow, that's all you're ever going to be able to come. You just set a limit on who you could become as a person. So I'm creating in God's image. That means I could be anything for anyone at any given moment. I could create something in somebody at any given moment. I could be a part of something to make something better at any given moment. So I won't be able to be that person for myself or other people or the world if I'm not learning from who I used to be. You guys are in my groups. I'm always asking for life lessons. You know why I always ask for life lessons? Because how much are we actually going through life and learning about it? Or are we just waking up and we're winging it? If I could learn why I do the things I do it and how I do it, then I could start approaching a plan to becoming a better person. I want tomorrow to stay unknown. How many people future trip because of the unknown? I want it to stay unknown because then anything becomes possible tomorrow. I attract opportunities. I'm not someone that's going to tell you to chase your recovery like you chase the drugs. And this is just my process. If it works for you, work it. Why I can't do it is because when I'm chasing things, I'm rushing and I'm cutting corners. It's all about where I have to get to as quickly as I can. Unfortunately, we earned the title of a drug addict and alcoholic. How did we earn the title? We put the work in. We have to put the work in our recovery in order to keep it, because anything that you earn, you're a little less hesitant to throw it away. You know what I'm saying? Recovery is real easy to develop the personality. Christianity, it's real easy to develop the personality of what a Christian says and recites, but are you actually walking it? Like King David said in his song, right? Are we walking it? Are you walking your recovery, or are we just acting as if? You guys know I don't play with that term, act as if, because I could play a character really well because I'm a master manipulator. I know what you want to hear, how you want to hear it, and I even know how to act. I was so invested in my lies that I would predetermine the questions you would ask me about my lies so I would actually have a quick enough answer so you would believe the lie. That's how invested I was in that lifestyle, because that's what addiction is. It's a mindset, it's a lifestyle, it's a way of living. Recovery, Christianity, it's a lifestyle, it's a mindset, and it's a way of living. I could easily develop the personality of being whatever. Personality is just our public image. What's your character in recovery like? Even better, what's your definition of recovery? What makes us procrastinate so well, and we've been talking about it, is because our goals are too abstract. So we don't know where to even start. What is your recovery? What is the definition of recovery? Is it being a father? Great, now you know what you have to start doing. If recovery is just the absence of a substance, you're selling yourself so short on what your life could become. I see the drugs as the only purpose of this in my process is just to show me that I was able to do something that I thought I never could. That's it. I remember one point in my life where I actually told myself, just accept it, man. This is who you are. Just accept it. And I did. And it allowed me to stay in that life for so long. Accept the fact that the things you did are just the things you did. It does not make you who you are. An act of addiction, those are things we just did. They're facts. You could prove them with evidence. You could prove I did all the things I did. Can you prove them now? No. No. So they're no longer facts. The things that I did are just things that I did in my act of addiction. The more I made that who I was, the longer I lived as the person in my act of addiction. They're just things we did. I say it all the time. One of my mantras, our story lies in what we overcome, not what we've done. Some of us still might be walking in that story of the things we did. So guess what? We're still that person today, and we're not changing because we allowed the things we did to make us who we are. I could be a bus driver as my occupation. That's what I do. When I go home, I could be a father, I could be a brother, I could be so many other things. If you could stop allowing the things you did define who you are, and then start learning from the things you did to define what you do today about it, then you start building some character. So what are we doing behind closed doors? What are you doing for God when nobody's looking? I'm in this season of wanting to build the character of a Christian and the character of my recovery, because I could get easily just in the motions, right? Get in autopilot on this. Remember, we talked about the definition of relapse. The true definition of relapse is the deterioration of improvement. The use of the drug or the drink is a result of your relapse. The use of the drugs and the alcohol is a result of us not dealing with our problems in a healthy way and us running from it, and the only option we have is to use. So I'm always walking backwards through my problems because I'm real good at cleaning a mess. I don't know about you guys. I'm also real good at making that same mess not too long after I clean it. The reason I'm so good at doing that is because I'm not getting to the root. Where is the influence? Where's your source of information coming from? Like Chief says, whoever has your ear has your future. Who has your ear? Who's putting things into your ear? What are you doing when nobody's looking? Because what's going to happen is you're not going to be here forever. You're not going to have people giving you UAs. You're not going to have people making sure you go to groups. You're not going to have people making sure that you're going on your job interviews. So we need to start practicing what our life looks like in recovery while we're still in treatment, where you can learn what works for you and what doesn't work for you. If we're not taking chances, calculated risk. You know what a calculated risk is? Being honest with somebody. Being vulnerable with somebody. That's a calculated risk. What I mean is you have to prepare yourself for people to use your honesty against you. You have to prepare yourself for people to use your vulnerability and make fun of you. But we can't stop doing it when two or more are gathered. Who's in the midst? If you start letting people use the stuff against you that God wants you to share with the world, you're going to isolate. How do I know? I did that. And the more and more we isolate, we keep ourselves a secret from the world. And the gift that God put inside of you to make this world a better place is now not in society. The reason society has been able to go where it goes is because we allowed media and we allowed society to dictate what is valuable, what is beautiful, what is smart, and what is accepted. Reality has manipulated us. Society has manipulated us. I said it before. Think of all the companies that would go bankrupt if they stop making money off our insecurities. Happiness don't sell. If they stop making money off our insecurity, now that I know this, I don't conform to patterns of the world. I'm transformed by the renewing of my mind. I change the way I look at things. Your perspective equals your potential. We talk about it all the time. Thoughts, right? Thoughts become words. Words become actions. Actions become habits. Habits become character. Character becomes destiny. Start talking about doing the drug. You're going to start thinking about it. You're going to start talking about it. Then you're going to start doing it. And then we're an addict again. And then our character is that of an addict. And we're doing things we shouldn't. And our destiny looks black. Transformed by the renewing of your mind is a sequence to everything that's happening in our mind, in our life. So how do you transform your mind? By going back into your past and finding the influence in which started your mindset to begin with. Traumatic event, we've all been through them. The response to the event is what we're still living with today. So if we don't go back to that traumatic event of who we are today, don't go back to that event of who you were in that moment, because then you're going to relive it. We want to re-experience it, not relive it. I want to experience what was going on. What I mean is everything that was going on, and then find compassion and empathy for the people that did things to me, because now I'm able to look back and see I did those same things to other people. We have to change the way we're looking at things. The only way we're going to change the way we're looking at things is if we change the conversation in which those things even happen. Right? What is a foundation for a relationship for you have to be built on? Throw some things at me. Trust, good. What else? Respect, good. Integrity, communication. I'm agreeing with you. For me, the foundation is communication. You can't have trust, you can't have respect, you can't have love, you can't have any of that without communication. So good conversation, good stuff comes from it. Good conversation with our pain, we should be learning from it so it doesn't repeat. Bad conversation with our pain, we're going to get wounded by it and play the victim. And then we want people to feel bad for us, self-pity. Why? Because then I get to justify why I'm not finding solutions, and I get to justify why my life is the way it is because I'm blaming everybody else. When I have good conversations with my pain, it's kind of like, why am I in pain? What am I doing that's making me feel this way? What am I not doing that's making me feel this way? You notice none of the questions asked about what the world is doing to me? So what am I doing that's making this worse? And what am I not doing that's making this worse? I bring everything to self as much as I possibly can. Do I make mistakes? Hell yeah, I make mistakes. Do I have insecurities? Yeah. What I realize is that the world is still going to be difficult. Recovery allows me to react better, so then this way I don't keep falling off. I'm able to keep going. I made recovery real simple. I don't make it right or wrong. I just don't. And this is why I don't, and maybe you could identify. If I'm making something right or wrong, I'm critiquing every step. I'm always needing confirmation on whether I'm doing something right or whether I'm doing something wrong. And if you're like me, I'm always doing it wrong to myself. I made it fall and get up. So I allow myself the opportunity to fall. All I have to do is get up, right? Life and school, two different things. School, you get the lesson and then the test. Study the lesson, pass the test, next grade. God is so beautiful and loves us so much, he turned it backwards. First you get the test, then you get the lesson. Learn the lesson, pass the test, graduate in life. Once I started understanding that, I needed to start finding success in my failures, because a lot of the things that would make me not do things was the fear of failure. That's my influence. So now I got to change the conversation with failure. Right? And you guys have heard me say it. My success is going from failure to failure without losing enthusiasm. That's what makes me a successful person. Outcomes, money, all that stuff is patterns of the world. That's how society deems success. Me, I have to keep going through my failures. Imagine if you learned from your failures. What happens? What happens if you learn from your failures? You fail less. So you're succeeding. So failure's on the path to success. It's not the opposite. The more I walk through this, the more I understand just how like the world is. I don't try to define the world. I don't. I'm going to go crazy. I go to a book. It's called the Bible. It's a solution-based book. My mentor says life's an open book test. You got the Bible to help you through it. AA, NA, those are solution-based books. You go to those books to find a solution to what you're going through. So let me ask you a question. Where is your source of information coming from today? What's getting poured into you? What are you pouring into others? Because if we're not giving what we got, guess what? We're not going to keep it. That's why I love what I do as far as an occupation goes. You guys help me keep what I got by continuously reteaching what it is that I learned. My learning technique, how I learn things, is I read, I take notes, and then I reread it, and then I educate. Nobody gets to tell you that you can't educate people on the things you know. Nobody gets to tell you that. Nobody gets to tell you that you don't have a voice because of your clean day. Nobody gets to tell you that. You have something inside of you, a pain that God put you through, not for you. The pain he put you through is so you can help somebody else through their pain. Have you ever, the healing journey, if you're on the healing journey, what that means is that you still feel your pain, but you allow your pain to inspire you to help other people. You allow your pain to, you change the conversation. So what happens is you start dictating your story. That no longer defines you if you could see the pain in it and have it motivate you. Pain should be pushing us forward. If it's pushing us back, that means we're not learning from it. It's not a bad thing. You have to go through pain to grow. I'll give you an example. Babies, when they're teething, why are they going through pain? What's growing? Their teeth. So if our teeth doesn't grow in, we don't get to eat the proper food and minerals to grow into a healthy adult. So you see the pain, how it led to something that, so everything that we're going through is to get us to that next step. I think in Romans it says, you can't compare the joy that's coming compared to the pain that you have right now. So that I could identify with that. I couldn't imagine a better life in my life of addiction because I was trying to compare the joy. And the joy would never seem big enough and be strong enough than the pain I was going through. You've heard the term life beyond your wildest dreams. The reason it's a life beyond your wildest dreams is because you can't even imagine what it is. If somebody told me I'd be living the life I'm living a year and a half ago, I would have been like, yo, pass that pipe because you smoking some good shit. Not enough time, not enough to do the things I've done, right? But with Jesus Christ, God, you know what I'm saying? Nothing's impossible. With man, it's impossible. With God, it's not, right? God will qualify us if you're called. So maybe you feel called to do something right now, but maybe you're not doing it out of the fear of failure. Or maybe you're not doing it because you don't want to be criticized because you might not be good at it right away. All those things that are stopped because what I understand is that, and I'm a little bit different with my faith, right? If I can't hear God, if I can't see God, my next step is I look for the devil. I look for where the devil is in my life because the devil is not going to be there by himself. God is going to be there where the devil is. I'm going to show you an example of my life, right? If you're doubting something, the devil's making you doubt it because he's afraid of the full potential of your spirit. So whatever it is that you're doubting, understand that God's right next to you telling you that you could do it. Let me show you how it works. When I was in active addiction, I never doubted my ability to do wrong. You want to know why? Because I was doing the devil's work. Why is he going to make me doubt it? No, when the doubt started to come in, when the thought came that maybe I should stop, then the doubt came in. So if you can't find God, you can't see God, look for the devil. Try to listen to what the devil's telling you because in the Bible it says you can only be tempted by the devil when you're not close enough to God. God doesn't tempt you. So when you're being tempted by the devil, we're not supposed to succumb to it. We're supposed to go to God with it and let God deal with it. So if you think about it, the devil actually does God's work and gets us blessed. Because if you don't succumb to the devil and you go to God, you're doing what God wants. God's going to take care of us. So the devil kind of gave us a layup. So what I started to understand is that I lived with the devil for 20 years. I know how he tricks me. Are you paying attention to how the devil is trying to trick you? Because that's all he could do is trick you. Can't take tomorrow away because he doesn't even know what's going to happen tomorrow. All he could do is make us look at our past in a negative way, so we relive that negativity in the present, so we're negative in the present, so then he's able to take our tomorrow away. Because whatever you're doing today, most likely you're going to be doing it tomorrow. And I know it might be hard. Does anybody here having a hard time forgiving themselves for things they've done? Good. Does anybody feel like they started the process of forgiveness yet or having a little trouble? What I realize is the fact that we were sitting in these seats, you already started to forgive yourself. Because I don't know about you, when I don't like myself and I hate myself, I ain't sitting in one of these seats. I'm out there causing death and destruction to everybody. But we don't really get to see our success because the devil's very good at making us feel like we're not having success even when we are. I'll give you an example. Ever hear an addict say, I only have 5 days clean? I only have 2 days clean. You're having success, but you're actually diminishing your success by saying only. The devil's very good at what he does. So if I went to a magic trick, right, and you know how they have that box, and they like cut it in half and it's supposed to be one. I'm not entertained. You want to know why I'm not entertained? I know how the trick works. Once you start understanding how the devil tricks you, you won't entertain his tricks as much as you used to. You'll see it before it comes. When you apply knowledge, what does it become? Anybody? Wisdom. When we apply knowledge, it becomes wisdom. So what happens is we all know how to do this. We're all not wise in it though. We're not able to see around the corner because we're not practicing the knowledge. We just know it. The more you think you know, the less you think. The more we think we know, the less we think. So what I realize is not what I don't know that stops me. It's whatever I think I do know that stops me. The more we think we know how to do this, the less we're going to think, the less we're going to learn. And I talk to myself first and foremost on all of this because I still have that ego. I still deal with that pride. You know what I'm saying? I'm still fighting it to this day, 2 years into my recovery, and I'm still finding out. I'm still doing a lot of shit the shit that I thought I worked on. So now what do? I beat myself up? No. I get back up. Stay down for a little bit, learn the lesson, and get back up. When we're beating ourselves up, we're putting ourselves right in a position to put ourselves in a place that we're not going to succeed at. Who are you comparing yourself to? You're one of one. Oscar Wilde, be yourself, everyone else is taken. You're one of one. But when we think we're one of 7 billion, now we're in competition with everybody in the world. And when we're in competition with people, that means I got to win and that means you got to lose. So whatever I'm not good at, I'm not telling you. I'm not asking for help. I want to do it myself. I'm self-made. Yeah, I'm the big man on campus. No such thing as self-made. I don't care who it is. It could be an independent artist. People are buying their music. You're getting help. And even at the very least, let's say you had nothing but unfortunate negative people that were talking down to you, but all of that negative talk inspired you into doing something good with your life. Do you understand you're not even self-made? The negativity helped create the version of you because you found a different way to go through it. NA and AA didn't work for me. It just didn't. The literature didn't excite me or intrigue me. I am so blessed. I do not put them down because it didn't work for me. They gave me the opportunity to study myself and create my own curriculum, which is what I teach you guys. I'm very grateful for NA and AA that it didn't work. We can't keep putting down things that are working for other people. They have a story in the Bible called a stumbling block. We shouldn't be stumbling blocks for each other in recovery. We should be stepping stones for each other in recovery. By putting down something that didn't work for you in a negative way, what you're doing and telling the other person, you might close the door on them and it might work for them. I'm very big about recovering out loud. You knew I was an addict from a mile away, so why am I going to recover in silence? Right? I had no problem with showing the world I was an addict whatsoever. Why would I have a problem showing the world I'm in recovery? It's the only way we're going to kill these stigmas is if we recover out loud. Let the world know who we used to be, the work it takes to be who we are today, and how we work with people to stay where we are today. Look at the world we're living in. This is one of many reasons why I think we're chosen. Just look where we are outside in NA room and AA room. You will see every skin color, sexual orientation, pronoun, everything that's dividing society right now and petty differences. We need it in order to be able to live the life we're living. If the world's seen what addicts were doing, we would make them feel a certain way about themselves why they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing about themselves. The Bible says those who've been forgiven much love much. I'm pretty sure you guys could identify right now, we love our people way more than people that have not gone through or did the things we've done. Blessing, all things work together for good for those who are called to his purpose. So whatever you think that you did, alongside the devil, God's so Gucci, he's going to come in and use it for good anyway. Once you go to him, my life is based on my 20 years of active addiction. I was on Dr. Phil because I'm an addict in recovery, not because of anything else. Nightline news, the traveling, the newspapers, the TV shows. I'm going internationally now because I have a lived experience that I've overcame. The struggle becomes admired when you overcome it. The struggle becomes admired when you overcome it. I don't know how many of us have been able to go to places that God's took me to, but we made it this year. And they're listening. I'm telling you that right now. They're listening to what it is that we're saying. It's not because it's just me that they hear. They get to hear me, and then they get to see everything on my page and everyone I'm connected with, and then they get to see what we're doing as a community. So yeah, maybe it's me speaking, but it's us that they're letting in the door. You need to know that. Like, doors are going to start opening. But what's going to have to happen with us to kill stigmas, unfortunately, we're going to have to put ourselves out there and take the shots right now. Like Jesus went to the cross, we're going to have to take shots for the ones that are coming behind us so they don't die in silence. I'm willing to take those shots because I was the one shooting the gun against other people, not a literal gun, but I was messing up people's lives. You know what I'm saying? I used this gift for the wrong thing, but you can't lose the gift that God gave you even if the devil used it for his purposes. Love is patient, love is kind, right? Definition of love in the Bible. So it doesn't tell me how I really feel. It tells me how I act. Self-love. It's not necessarily how I feel about myself. It's what I do despite how I feel for the betterment of myself. Because I love myself today, I still got up and went everything I had to do even though I didn't feel like doing it today. I'm in this season of there's parts of the old me that are going to have to die that I don't want to let go of. There's parts of the old me that helped me survive for such a long time that I'm afraid of letting it go, because then I really feel like I'm lost. But isn't that what faith is? Taking a step without seeing the stairwell, to quote Martin Luther King. Believing is half the battle. What are you believing in? You believing that you might not make it? You're going to create that reality. The world that we're living in is not what your eyes are seeing. The world you're living in is being created in your mind, and the eyes are a reflection of what the world is that in your mind. I live on the same planet that I did in my active addiction. I just don't live in the same perception of reality anymore. How do I know that to be true? We all live on planet Earth. We all have different perceptions of reality. What changes your perception of reality? The way we react to things. Are we playing the victim? Or are you playing the survivor? You get to choose which one you want to be, because in reality, in the moment you became a victim, you also became a survivor too, because you're still here. A true winner is a loser that doesn't give up. What made Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, all these people champions? Practice. Not the trophy, not the ring. You know what I'm saying? What gets you to 30 days? The consistency. The coin didn't get you 30 days. The coin is a result of the work that you did. A true winner is a loser that don't give up. You have a history of victory. You're still here. You're undefeated. You are undefeated. You're still here, but we'll feel defeated, right? We feel like we've lost. How did you lose? You're still here. You're still fighting. So I had to find success in my failures, right? So we'll go to the next scripture real quick. Matthew 17:20-21. For truly I tell you, if you have the faith the size of a mustard seed, you will say to this mountain, move from here and there, and then it will move, and nothing will be impossible for you. Faith is like a mustard seed. Sometimes I'm trying to compare where my faith is to the people that are around me. And a lot of the people around me have way more faith, and they recite the Bible. And when I do that, then I don't feel like I have enough. A little bit of faith. What happens when you start believing in yourself a little bit? Doors start opening, right? Positive affirmations, right? We spoke about those. Just another form of manipulation, just in a positive way. The affirmations, you're telling yourself something that you know that you want to hear to make you believe, right? When I'm manipulating people, I'm telling you what you want to hear to get something out of you to benefit myself. I'm telling you a lie. Sometimes when we're doing these affirmations, especially in the beginning, we think it's a lie. We ain't believing it. I'm looking in the mirror saying, I love myself. I don't know. But the more you repeat a thought, the more it becomes a belief. So whatever your belief system is today, ask yourself, what are the thoughts that you're repeating in your mind over and over again to make the belief system that you have today? You don't think you could do this? I bet you told yourself you couldn't do this over and over and over again. That's why you believe you can't do this. Everything is our thoughts. Not all our thoughts need to become reality. You get to choose which ones you make reality. Remember, we talk about it. You feel your feelings, the indicator, just to tell you something's going on. The guidelines should not be what the feeling is making you feel all the time. But we act on impulse. The more you feel a feeling, now it becomes a mood. Angry feeling, stay angry for a few minutes, now you're in an angry mood all day long. Everything's bad. So what we have to do is we have to start changing our reactions to things. I'm not saying I don't get angry. I'm not saying I don't make mistakes. I do all the time. But it's what defines me is what I do after the mistake, not the mistake. It's hard to keep getting back up. Keep getting back up. You want to build your self-esteem, self-respect, self-love, self-confidence, all these things. Keep getting back up and watch what you think about yourself. Anybody ever see Rocky IV when he's fighting the Russian? Russian keeps knocking him down. Rocky keeps popping back up, popping back up. You know what happens? The Russian gets discouraged because he couldn't knock him out, so he weakens and Rocky knocks him out. Same thing happens with the devil. Once the devil knows he can't get you and you were gone, he's going to leave you alone because he can't win. Keep getting back up. What keeps you down? What makes you not get back up? Fear of failure? Criticism? So the influence that we have coming to us is from the outside world. I think Jay-Z said it in a song. Outside pain should create inside growth. Outside pain should create inside growth. What are we growing from today? What are you doing when nobody's looking? And I say this to myself more than anybody. What are we doing when no one's looking? Because if you don't think your subconscious knows who you truly are, your conscious mind can manipulate people all you want. We can manipulate people all we want. How many times did we have people believe in something that wasn't true, went home and looked in the mirror and really had the truth hit us? It's the subconscious is always remembering these things. One way to get your subconscious to come out is to journal. Write down your thoughts. If you're keeping them up here, you're giving the devil an opportunity to manipulate it. Right? I tell you guys all the time, my word is transparency. The reason my word is transparency is because when two or more are gathered, Christ is in the midst. So when I'm sharing what I'm going through, I'm allowing Christ to use that person to work on me, and I'm allowing Christ to use me to work on that person. I'm pretty sure we've all shared something we've been through with somebody and felt good afterwards. There's something about releasing what it is. The pain is the body's way to release what it doesn't want no more. The longer we hold on to something, the longer it's going to hold us down.